Hey guys, welcome to Brains, Brawn, and BS, where we try to improve the lives of our listeners by connecting the dots between physical and financial wellness while discussing the shit that actually matters in life. Alright guys, I am Luke. I'm going to be your master of the brawn per se, and I'm going to be discussing all the fitness-based topics we have here on the podcast here. I am joined by Scott, who is your beholder of the business acumen. He's going to be covering all sorts of things in regards to the economy, business, and everything else in between. As far as a little bit of a back and forth background here, one of us went to an accredited business school, and the other went to the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, the other one, one of us dealt with the bureaucratic bullshit all day long. No, wait, we both dealt with that shit.
One of us racked up thousands of dollars in student loan debt for a piece of paper, and the other one beat the pavement and got battle scars instead.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, too. One of us has 4 dogs and is a freaking hoarder. The other one isn't ready for that level of commitment.
That's fair. Listen, if you are still listening, then congrats. You do have a chance at life. Also, there's something seriously wrong with you, and you should probably seek help. Essentially, guys, we're here to kind of bridge the gap between all things fitness and wellness-based and relate those to business acumen and the economy as a whole. Scott, you want to carry off on that?
Yeah, so just one of the main topics I want to kind of go off of today, because this is going to be super, super important for you to understand from now on, because most of what we talk about is going to go off of this premise. Most people don't understand it, so consider yourselves lucky. And this is something to pass on to the kids too. To get right into it, what I'm going to kind of like discuss is inflation. And then, Luke, I want to kind of bounce off you to see kind of how that relates to healthcare stuff. So I'm actually going to use something from Henry Hazlitt's Economics in One Lesson. I am not the sharpest crayon in the box. Or is it the brightest? Or, yeah.
Something
all right,
like that.
Yeah, right? So anyway, obviously. But what I want to discuss is, like I said, is inflation. So essentially, this helped me to really understand it. So we're going to pretend there's an economy. All right, Luke, you officially live in an economy, and, you know, it's very simplistic, but there are $100 in this economy.
Okay.
That's it.
Got
right?
it.
So when you buy a piece of cheese, you pay 50 cents. When you buy whatever, you know. Now, let's say everyone wants pizza. Like, people love the pizza, and pizza's price is $15. Okay. So, you know, people, of course, work, then buy the pizza, eat with their family, whatever. Well, let's say that, you know, everyone's happy in this economy, but then a person comes up, or the government comes up and says, hey, listen, you know, we think we need to put more money into this economy, okay, because it's going to help people grow. It's going to help businesses grow, yada, yada. So in this economy as it stands, the dollar, okay, let's say you have 100 pieces of paper, okay, how much is that dollar worth, Luke?
If we have 100 pieces of paper?
$100, okay, in the economy, how much is that dollar worth?
I mean, whatever it can pay for, right?
Okay, very true. Okay, so essentially, though, like when it comes to the mathematics of it, it is worth 1/100th.
Yeah, of what's currently in the existing economy, right?
Exactly. Now let's pretend just for a second that there's gold involved, and you know, $1 equals you know, a piece of silver or something like that.
Exactly.
Obviously, that's what it's worth.
Yeah, so it reflects that precious metal amount.
Correct. But now we don't have any precious metals. Let's just say
Correct.
we just have paper. Okay, so it is now worth 1/100th. All right, now the government now the government says, okay, we're going to go ahead and, you know, create this money, do loans, and people can start businesses, whatever. So they print $900 more. Luke, what is your dollar worth now?
1/900th of a
1/1000th, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Right?
Oh yeah, 900 more, 900 additional pieces of paper.
Additional piece of
Got
paper,
it.
right? So it is now worth 1/1000th.
Correct.
Now, Luke, what do people do when they have more money in their hands? What do they tend to do?
We're going to go ahead and we're going to spend more if we have more, right?
100%.
Consistently.
All right. So what's going to happen is people are going to get this money. They're going to be like, hey, we got more cash, this is going to be great. So they go and they buy more stuff. Well, let's say everyone decides to just slack off, stay home, and eat a bunch of pizza, right? Obviously, they have more money, so more of their money can be allotted to that. They buy a whole bunch of pizzas, all right? Now, the guy who's making the pizzas is getting a lot of business. He's like, hey, this is great. All of a sudden, he's trying to buy or trying to keep up with demand, and it's tough for him, all right? Because everyone wants to keep buying these pizzas.
That definitely makes sense.
Right. Then all of a sudden, the guys who make the pasta sauce of the tomatoes he uses, all of a sudden they cannot get those tomatoes out of the ground fast enough for him to be able to turn into pizza. Right. So what's going to happen is that since there's a lot of people wanting it and not a lot, those growers are going to raise the price up because they know people will pay.
Naturally. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So let's say at some point that the pizza's price then increases to about, let's say about like $30. Okay. Mm-hmm. Did the value of the pizza change?
Negative.
No. Right? Tomatoes and all the ingredients have their own set value.
Correct.
What actually happened is that the currency was now worth less.
Yep.
And so now people are able, now the price.
Yeah, because there's more of this item. There's more of the dollar, right? So thusly its value is decreased, right? I mean, If we had two Scots, each Scot individually would be less valuable. But luckily for us and our listeners, there's only one Scot. So.
I wouldn't say lucky for. But,
good point, you're probably right.
So anyway, right. Okay.
Carry on.
Carry on, sir. But yeah, so that's the basis of inflation. Okay, so right now our dollar is worth, now in the past, I think it was a week and a half, our dollar is now worth 122 trillionth. Get excited. We have $22 trillion in debt. And just, basically the rule of thumb is this, if we have $22 trillion in debt, that means that that they have been printed by the Federal Reserve Bank and
correct.
Right. So that is the amount that we have in circulation.
Now, what's that going to do to an individual's buying power in America, Scott? Like having that level of debt and that level of debt increasing at, a steady rate. The individual's buying power.
Oh, yeah. So basically buying power goes down. So essentially, as more dollars get flushed into the economy, of course, prices are going to increase.
Which I think is the lesson you were just illustrating that story, right?
Right, exactly. So if you wouldn't mind, Luke, that can be kind of hard for people to grasp sometimes. So sure. Guys, feel free. We're going to archive this. So make sure that you listen to this numerous times. Talk to other people that who have listened to it and discuss it because that's how you're actually going to learn this shit.
Yep.
But how would that relate? Is there anything that kind of relates to in the healthcare world?
Sure. So when we're talking about inflation, the value of the dollar, and currency as a whole, right, we can really relate that to anabolic steroid use in everyday American life, right? So as you may or may not know, steroids, they kind of work very similarly to inflation as a concept. So you start taking steroids, which is just essentially artificial testosterone that gets pumped into your body, which allows you to produce all these hormones, these chemicals that's going to let you add on a unprecedented amount of unnatural muscle mass, right? The issue with that is, though, your body naturally starts producing less testosterone, which is terrible for you, right? Because now you're consistently taking this drug, which is great. It's giving you the results you want to see, right? But your own body has stopped doing what it's supposed to do to achieve homeostasis or balance, right?
So in essence, you are less of a man.
yeah, correct, right? Because if you don't have this, once you are on steroids consistently, right? You're on a steroid cycle. Once you do not have that, your body is in no way, shape, or form ready to produce its own testosterone. So you are not healthy, you are sick, you are ill. There's numerous negative side effects, right? But while you're on it, everything's great. It's just like any other drug. And you can really relate that to the economy in the sense that we have all these dollars being pumped in by the Federal Reserve, propping up our economy, right? But really,
and assets too. I really like how that rolls into kind of like the stock market and the housing market and things like that.
No, that's a good point, Scott. But in essence, we are really weaker as an individual and as a whole together when you start doing this, right? Because you're not producing this yourself. This is coming in from the outside, and its effect can be quite catastrophic over the long term, right? In the short term, wow, this is great. We have more money. We have more muscle mass. Things are going well, right? But the second you don't have that influx, right, of testosterone or dollars or assets being pumped in by either yourself or the Federal Reserve, right? In this case, you're going to have issues. I mean, that is a fact. You will have issues. There's no way around it.
Right. It's like, basically, because I was reading, I do some reading in one for different economists and different traders, things like that, and I learned that last year the stock market was propped up, or the S&P 500, 12 of their actual stocks. Primarily the FANG stocks were going up while the rest of the market was going freaking down.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right? Which is really interesting.
What's that all about?
Which is, of course, that reflected what was going to happen. All of a sudden, I think it was August or October, I can't remember, don't have it in front of me. Of course, the stock market started to crash, right? Same thing happened in 2008.
Correct.
So that's really interesting how that works.
Yeah, pretty solid relation. I mean, you would never think that.
You know what? It also, actually, basically the lack of testosterone, the inability for someone to produce it, kind of also reminds me of how the gap between the middle class and the rich and the poor is broadening. The middle class is getting pretty much screwed.
Correct.
In essence, but that's something for another day.
Yeah, that's definitely
too deep.
A topic for another day. Well, I'm probably just going to finish up my little beginning stint here with kind of what I'm going to generally focus on in this podcast, guys, which is going to be health, wellness, and fitness. And that is because it is such a pivotal factor in life. We all know it's good to exercise. We all know we need to be in shape, but yet we typically don't do it. Majority of Americans are not doing that, right?
Me.
So I'm going to go ahead and quote Amy Norton with Health Day News here, where she says more than 3/4 of U.S. adults say being in shape and looking good are, quote, very important, unquote, to them, yet less than a third exercise regularly, and nearly half admit they're not active at all, right? So as you can see, these numbers are increasing, and that's just terrible, guys. To be quite fair and honest, you cannot live your fullest life, your good life, right, if you are not keeping your health and your wellness in check. It will not happen.
Because you feel like shit.
Yeah, right? You're going to feel bad. Your emotions are going to be down. It leads to a host of mental issues. And as you're going to hear, if you stay tuned into this podcast, your physical fitness, if you make that a priority in your life, which everyone has the ability to do so regardless of circumstances, there is always a way, right? If you're smart with it, that's going to boost your mood. That's going to boost, your confidence, how you feel, how you interact. That's going to affect everything, literally everything, to the way you think about the economy, finances, the way you invest, the way you carry yourself. And that is going to be my main focus here. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this off to you, Scott, and let you close out here.
Yeah, no, definitely. So basically just a quick note, my focus is going to be more of the business and financial side of things. The thing is, I'm not going to go into just I'm not going to talk about broad business topics. Of course, they do relate to us, to a large extent, especially if people have their assets in things like 401ks and mutual funds. Stupid! Excuse me. Oh, God. Sorry.
Sounds like you might have a cold, Scott.
Yeah, no, I just, I'm getting over it.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's hard to get over.
Hit the gym.
But, but I'm going to relate it to things that we can do in our everyday life and how it affects us individually. Okay, because
so more of like a micro scale, right? How it affects the individual, the person, not everyone as a whole.
Okay. That's the thing, is because you can log on to CNN, constantly negative news channel or something like that.
Oh no, we already branded ourselves.
Oh my God,
damn
we're
it!
Done.
Come on,
we're
Scott.
done. Oh, fuck.
First
no,
episode.
I'm sorry. I mean, they're all well-meaning individuals who don't suck at life.
Oh, you're killing me.
Oh my God! But no, I am gonna focus on things that you can put put into action in your life to help you develop financially. Because honestly, the big thing is that, if you have great health, but you suck with money and you just piss it out the expense column all the time, you're going to be, you're basically going to have like a money hangover like the rest of your life. And you're going to keep feeling like working hard and putting your money into 401k, stocks and mutual funds is going to is all you can do. If you'll just keep listening, man, and you're going to keep listening because you fucking like us, right?
What's not to like?
I know, right? Actually, there's plenty of shit not to like about me.
We'll keep that on the down
But,
low.
You're going to develop your financial IQ, all right? And that's going to at least help you to understand your finances a little better and be able to make smarter decisions. With that, guys, appreciate you hanging out with us. Note to self, mute my freaking computer.
Go ahead, ignore that.
That did not happen. That was not a text from my mom. And but guys, keep tuning into Brains, Brawn, and BS. We'll be coming at you monthly for the first little while, and then we'll be
nail down a solid date in the end here.
Yep, exactly. Nail it down. Just start bringing you more as things come up. Make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. That's the main platform we're going to be on right now.
Super important.
We'll keep you up to date on all the social media places we are.
Yes, sir.
Things like that. But anything else you want to say, Luke?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it down, Scott. Stay tuned. Stay posted. We're putting out good shit here.
Awesome, guys. Hey, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.